So with the 1988 Honda Accord, we do not have much room in the engine bay because in there's 5.7 liters of pure America. So how are we gonna do things like setting up the brakes? Are we gonna run a booster? Are we gonna not run a booster? In this box is all of the answers.
And now, you're watching the sheer fact that 100% of my stimulus check is going right into Car Parts channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. So this video is made possible and is brought to you by the guys over at MPC Motorsports. They really hooked it up with this one. So they threw all kinds of goodies in the bag just for me because that's what kind of guys they are over there. So I'm just gonna go over what they all sent me in kind of a small breakdown. So this right here, this is a LS1 through LS6 engine hardware kit, and they just have everything broken down. Now this kit, I'm gonna put on the motor as I'm rebuilding it and refreshing it, so that's gonna be perfect. I'm not gonna get into much detail on this right now, but I will definitely as I'm using it. So that's gonna go off to the side until we're ready for it. And moving on, this is what's going to make this video actually happen today. And I actually checked it out. That's why my dirty fingers are all over it. I wanted to make sure you know that their packages aren't coming to you dirty. So this hardware for this, little fork for that, and then this right here. Whew. Man, this is crispy. Brake booster delete plate. So this is going to mount perfectly onto my firewall. Now the guys over there, they had to put in the time to figure out exactly what size I was going to need. And it just so happens that they already made this and it's the same exact size as a Civic or an Integra. So this is going to fit perfectly on my firewall. And that's why I love working with different companies. This company was willing to put in the time and energy and effort to figure out exactly what I need. Just like how BC Racing did it with the coilovers, MPC did it with the brake booster delete plate. So this plate is going to receive the Willwood master cylinder, which is right here. Oh, so lovely, super nice Willwood master, and I can actually mount the reservoir remotely to get it away from the headers a little bit. That might be something I want to look into doing just because of all the heat coming off the headers. Why don't we just go ahead and get it thrown on the car, or maybe mock it up, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so that's looking good. Really cool to see some of these new pieces going into this engine bay. Everything being so dirty around it and so rough cut around it makes it look not so good. But as I'm putting these new pieces in, I can just imagine how good it's going to look when everything is finished out. So I could either run it like that, and I have the big reservoir on there right now, or I could run the small reservoir right here. And also I have the option to remote mount this. So I can mount this somewhere else, and then have this go down to the master cylinder. That fits exactly where that fits, right on top of the cylinder. So I have that option. I can run the big one, I can run the small one. One thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is how close that actually is to the header. So I think I'm going to be heat wrapping the headers, and it's nice to know that I have options. Nothing's definite. I can put it wherever I want when that time comes. So now what I want to focus on next is I want to focus on the pedals. For me to get the actual pedal bracket on, I had to cut off the gas pedal because the gas pedal, it was hitting the transmission just because of how close everything was. So I have the gas pedal right here, and I just cut it off right there, and that goes over there. So I'm just gonna take off the pedal assembly and then figure out how I can move all of the pedals over, or maybe just the gas and the brake. I don't know. We're just gonna power right through this, cut them, put them exactly where we want them, and then move on to the next thing. Okay, so now the gas pedal's good. Now one thing that I gotta keep in mind is the fact of how much throw I need at the throttle for it to go, you know, WOT or wide open throttle. So I need to consider that, and if anything, after the fact I can bring this up a little bit. That might be okay, but now the brake pedal is too close to the gas pedal, but I gotta keep this in line. So if I keep this in line and I wanna move this over, I just have to keep track of this and then move the pedal, and then maybe the brake's gonna be a little bit close to the clutch pedal. If I can move this over 25% of the distance from there to there, so that way I have nice room, and then I'll put the seat in a little bit later to see. So I guess I gotta get this off, and also I wanna keep this in here so that way I can mock it up, and we'll see. I guess I gotta get this cut off and then try to move it. So this was here, which is too close. I suppose if I just put it somewhere like right there, that should be pretty good. So I'll just take this plane, and then I want to cut this somewhere straight off like that, roughly, to make it go right there, roughly. And then honestly, right foot gas, right foot brake, left foot clutch, I think that might be okay. I'll get this cut up and then hold it up, and then we'll see about that. Alright, so let's see how this goes. Good. And I'm just gonna tack it right now just in case I need to take it out, and I'm leaving all of the assembly in here so I can see where it is as far as this position, that position. I don't want to crook it or anything. And then once I take it out, I can go ahead and finish welding everything. So I think that looks pretty good. No, I went to put the gas pedal in. Well, I went to go put all the pedals in, and the gas pedal was still a little bit too close to the transmission, so I moved it over just a little bit, and that's actually a little bit closer to the brake pedal than it was before. But either way, I think it's gonna be just fine. And what I wanna do is I wanna just keep moving forward. I think this is gonna be good. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. And if it's not good, I can always just change it quickly. So I don't wanna spend too much time just wasting and looking around and thinking. And like I said, I just wanna keep on attacking stuff. So I haven't got much done in this video, but trust me, I've been getting stuff done. I just wanna save what I'm getting done for the next video. That'll make a lot more sense to you. So what I've been working on is, if you can see right here, we just got a bunch of wiring set up. This is all new stuff, and I'll talk about that coming up pretty soon. This is old stuff. This is for the transmission. So this is like the speed sensor, the shifter selector, the shift solenoid, the skip shift solenoid, whatever that is, the reverse lockout, and I just have this cut from the main harness, so that way all these connectors that I'm still going to want to be using, like the backup light switch for example, I'm going to want to use all this because it's going to be a street car. I need all that to work. So this is cut, this is separated from the GTO harness. This is for the fuel pump, so that way I can use the stock GTO fuel pump if I want to use that. And then coming around here, looking at the car, I'll just kind of give you a brief overview of what we did, but like I said, I'll get a lot more into it on another video. We have my entire harness. The standalone Holley Terminator X is what I'm going to be running, and I have all of that stuff plugged in. Also, I have the intake on because I had to put this sensor in, and we are just moving right along. Also, I wanted to get the old radiator mocked up just so that way I can see how much room I'm going to be working with, and I have a lot of room, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever. I will not be running this radiator, but it's just nice to see that I have a bunch of room out front, a bunch of room in the back, so I can definitely run a nice beefy radiator for when I'm ready. Alrighty, so really quickly before we go, I wanted to let you know those parts from MPC, that brake booster delete kit as well as the engine dress up kit, we're going to get a lot more into those items on the next upcoming videos when we're actually installing them. This video I just kind of wanted to show you them, make a little bit of headway on the pedals, and I think we did just that. So you guys, if you buy anything from the MPC website, the link will be down in the description below, and at checkout, if you enter in promo code BodeVision, it's just BodeVision. Enter in BodeVision at your checkout and you will get 10% off. And that's not all. Also, if you can send to me a picture of your invoice or purchase number or just something to prove to me that you bought something from MPC, I will send you a free sticker pack completely for free, no questions asked. That's just me thanking you for supporting a company that's supporting me. I want my subscribers and I want you to support them. That way everybody gets a good deal, and with that 10% off for you as well as my free sticker pack for you, that's a great deal as well. So everybody's gonna be happy. They have all kinds of stuff for all kinds of different cars. If you have a car, if you are into cars, just click the link in the description down below. Go check out some of their stuff because it is high quality stuff through and through, and they might have something for your car. Just check it out. So coming up, what I hope to be very soon is we are going to get this thing fired up for the very first time. That's what I'm looking forward to. I really wanted to get the car on the ground. It is on the ground. It is looking phenomenal. After that, we want to get it started. And the reason why I want to get it started now is because I want to know that all the wiring is good, so that way after I rebuild the motor, when we put it back in, if there's something wrong, I know that was a factor of the rebuild, not a factor of my wiring. I don't want to create two different variables and then I'm not going to know where to go to try to trace out what the problem is. So we want to get the motor to run just as it is because it ran perfectly fine in the GTO before I pulled it out. So that's the game plan. That's what we're doing. MPC in the description down below. Also shopbodevision.com in the description down below if you're looking for some of my merch. All that stuff looks really good. The car looks really good. You look really good. I think that's gonna be it for this one, you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.